Alright guys, so you are welcome to this week's weekly review and everything that happened this week. Let's go to 1 hour. I don't want this week's video to be long. Everything that happened this week was predicted from last week's review. So you want to go check that video and see their thoughts. You know what? I'll just put a clip somewhere in here where we talked about this move actually happening. On Monday, it would be great if price we just go bullish and close above this. That will set a nice tone for something like this, and then this, and then this. No, so this would be a nice template for what do you call it now? The weekly move or intraday move on DSY for next. No, and it's amazing. It just happened as we expected, as we predicted that it would, and it's crazy. All right, so let's do this week's review quickly. So yes, we are still bullish on DSY. Let's go to the monthly. Let's go to the monthly. On the monthly time frame, we have on the monthly time frame we have this drop down here, and we have just been ranging here. So in the monthly time frame, it kind of seems like we are moving into this fair value gap right here. We are almost there. So when price gets there, we will see how price reacts. So that is the monthly drawn liquidity, this monthly fair value gap right here. And as you can see, we have this strong bullish move, and then so far it seems like we formed the low of the month already, so we might reach out for previous month's high. Let's go to the weekly time frame. I don't want today's videos to be long. So last week we talked about how we had this inside candle here, and then last week we swept the buy side of this candle, and then we swept the sell side of both this candle and this candle. So in the coming weeks, we just want to see an expansion candle reaching out for this buy side liquidity right here, and that is exactly what happened. It was amazing this week, guys. It was amazing. So this was a daily fair value gap that we were looking at how price would react to. So we opened, expanded, open, low, expand. We reacted off the high of this daily fair value gap, and then bounced off the low, and then expanded again, reaching for this buy side liquidity here. And nothing has really changed. So you remember this rectangle here, right? And this was the move that we were actually looking forward to happen. So as we said, it's almost like a market maker. This is a buy model, right? So we have the sell side of the curve, and then we are now getting the buy side of the curve, looking to run this high here, and we are almost there. So next week, and next week is also last week of the month, so we might see some expansion, we might see some consolidation, since we are ending the month. But then next week also there's a lot of news happening, so we might see some volatility in the market. So last Friday we swept this low sell side liquidity here. We had this market structure shift right here on the 4 hour, and then the rest has just been the bullish move and bullish order flow, and then things like that. So on Monday, we said last week's review, that on Monday when price opens, we just want to see some expansion, and that's what we saw just right here. We saw this move, and then we consolidated going to Asia, into London, and then on Tuesday we had this. Let me go to the 15 minutes so we get to appreciate. All right, so the exact same move that we saw on the daily, right? This is the model, guys. This is our model. So we have a drop down, we have a low, we have a high, we sweep the low, we break structure, retest, and then expand. This is it. This is all that we do. So we sweep sell side here, we sweep sell side there, we break structure right here, we break structure right here, we retest, we trade into this fair value, no, a breaker, a fair value gap in optimal trade OTE levels, and then we expand. That's just it. And then the flip side too for the for the flip, when you flip it we get a a sell model. This is basically, so this is basically the same thing. We drop low, high, we sweep, we break structure, and then we trade into the other blocks here, or this move right here, and then we expand. And then on Tuesday we sweep sell side here, we expand, retracement into going to London, no, New York, session close, AM close, and then we continue. On Wednesday we had this consolidation, so it was actually expected. So we have expansion, a little bit of consolidation, and then Asia we drop down, sweeping liquidity here. We sweep the sell side liquidity here. We trade into the low of that daily fair value gap, and then look at how price was just trading around here, and then we just expanded again on Thursday. We caught some nice moves on EU and GU, and basically all the pairs that are influenced by dollars. Though we took some demo trades here for learning purposes. So let's go to GU rather. Let's go to GU, and then you can see the move right here. All right. So we just opened. This is a weekly candle though, so we open, and then you see the way last week traded. This right here was setting the tone for this move right here, because we have an expansion and then we rejected it. So you can see the bearish momentum, or the bearish volatility right here. We rejected it and then we closed here. So when we open, and then we traded up a bit on the 1 hour, it really did set the tone for for this move. And then this week was quite amazing. These are just the number of pips per trade, or per the trades that we were targeting. So on Monday we took this trade right here. On Monday I was away from the charts, but then the we were still monitoring the charts. So these ones were taken on a demo account for educational purposes. These are just reviews. So we entered here, and then we held it throughout. And then on Tuesday we entered here, and then we held it. We took partials here, and then Wednesday consolidation, and then we were still in the same trade from here and here. So we held it throughout the whole week, and I think we still have a little bit in. And then Friday we added another trade here. I don't remember what happened. I don't know whether we bought back, or we took partials from the ones here and here. And then you can see that amazing week on GU. So yes, forecast for GU, we might reach into this. I think this is a weekly fair value gap or something here. This is a fair value gap, weekly fair value gap. So you see the way we respected this here, and then we respected the upper side of that fair value gap, and traded up a bit. So if we are bullish, with DSY still bullish and we are bearish, we might reach into this low side of the fair value gap, and eventually this here, because this is the buy side of a curve. This is the buy side. Let me delete this. This is the buy side of the curve, and then we now have the sell side of the curve, right? So buy side, we have the buy side of the curve, and then we now have the sell side of the curve. So next week we might see some a little bit expansion and consolidation, and then in August we might see an expansion. First week or second week we might see an expansion, reaching out for this sell side liquidity here. But then on the dailies too, you can see the same model. Let me hold it on the daily. You can see the same model here. We have a move here, a low, a high, a low. We sweep the high, and then we are waiting to break structure. And then if we do break structure, that will set the tone for a bearish move on GU. Let's go to EU. EU. This is quite messy. Let me just. You can see that I'm quite rushing today because I don't want the video to be that long. We are already 10 minutes in or so. I think we'll finish soon. So we have my internet. GU had a much more volatility and an expansion to the downside than EU, because when you look at EURUSD, it was bullish. I think EURUSD was bearish or bullish. EURUSD was mostly bullish, so it means that the euro had some level of strength, and dollar too has some level of strength. So EU didn't really move, downside like GU did. Regardless, it still did, some moves, some pips, and then let me see for the entire week. EU did like 75 pips or so, 75 pips or something like that. So yes, we took a sell here. Once again, we went with I wasn't with the chart, so we took a sell here. And once again, these are demo trades. We had some sell stops. We had some sell stops. So you can see the model right here again. We have a move, high, low, sweep it, break structure, retest, and then expand, and then that's it. So we took some buy stops, sell stops here. We got triggered in. I don't remember what happened, but I think we got stopped out. We threw the stop loss. We got stopped out. So we entered again, but then this time we entered, the stop loss was somewhere here. The stop loss was on this high, so we held it in. And then Wednesday, that consolidation. So this is what actually happened on Wednesday. We had, give me a second, let me see. So on Wednesday we had something like this, and then we sweep all this liquidity here, buy side liquidity in Asia. So in London we were just moving, we broke structure, retest a bit, and then we were just expanding throughout on Thursday. So we took this sell again in, I think, pre-New York session. We entered sales, some partials from this ones too, and then I think we still have some, still running, and then we have this consolidation in Asia, and then on Friday we had this move. We took another sell, and then I think we are still in. So let me take off the execution, marks, so that the charts are a bit clean, and let me take these two off so that the charts can be a bit clean for us. So that's it for our review. Our forecast, well, we are bearish because we have this sell side that we might eventually run to this sell side right here that we might be reaching for. we have been sweeping buy side expand. So look at it. We sweep buy side. Let me delete this. We sweep buy side and then expand. We sweep by side here, and then expand. It looks like on the daily we have a change in the state of delivery on the daily time frame. So we have this other blocks and we've closed below this price. So we might see some expansion to the side. The same thing on GU as we did see on GU. But relatively GU has been a better sell than EU. So that's it. So that would be it for this week. You don't want to take much of your time and waste much time. So we'll see you same time, same place next week with another review and forecast. So this week, DSY coming week you might see DSY bullish, GU bearish, and EU bearish. And if EURUSD still continues with its bullish momentum, actually EURUSD has been on a bearish trend. It has been seeing some massive sells and things like that. This pair is quite hard sometimes to read, but we have been on a bearish trend, and then we had kind of a retracement last week. So if we get to do this next week, then the better sales will be Euro USD, Euro UCF UCH. You know what? It's okay, guys. We don't want to take much of your time. So see you same time, same place next week. Bye bye.